Brenda J. Lilly here from Creative Consultations. I just wanted to put out a small disclaimer before we launch into today's video that says I'm not a licensed therapist. I'm just here to engage, to encourage, and hopefully empower other artists to go out and live their art dream. So here we go. Enjoy the video. Good morning, everybody. Brenda J. Lilly here with Creative Consultations. It is Monday morning, July 1st, 2024, and we have made it halfway through this year. Congratulations. Now it's time for the rest of the year. I hope you like this video, and if you do, like it, share it, hit the subscribe button, and share it with your friends, your family, and the artsy people in your life. My goal is to encourage everyone towards becoming and being who they were created to be. Thanks very much. Enjoy the video, and I'll see you on the flip side. Well, good morning, everybody. Brenda J. Lilly here, and it is time for Monday Morning Kickstart. I've got my big blue cup of coffee. I hope you have one as well. Maybe not blue, maybe another color, but hopefully just as big. Anyway, it is time for a Monday Morning Kickstart, and I'm ready to go. Now, Mark Twain said, the two most important days of your life are the day you were born and the day you find out why. Extra points if you can tell me what movie used this quote at the very beginning of the movie. Put it in the comments below. So today I want to talk about living our lives on purpose for a purpose. When we live our lives according to the purpose that we were created for, or the purposes, or with those thoughts in mind, knowing that we add value to this society, knowing that we're enough, knowing that we are needed and that we can make a difference and we can make this world a better place, then we go into thriving mode instead of surviving mode, instead of survival mode. Living in thriving mode instead of survival mode opens the doors to understanding why we are here. Now, some think that once I know why I'm here on the planet, life will just get so much simpler. Life will get easier, more focused. I'll know exactly what I need to do when I need to do it, yada, yada. That's not true. I'm here to debunk that myth right now. I'm not going to get all doom and gloom, so don't worry. In fact, I'm going to tell you about a conversation I had with my dad when I was 13. Oi, 13, not my best year. But it was parent teacher conferences. I was 13 years old. My dad was called in specifically to my English teacher's room. I was having a little bit of a struggle with English. And so she talked to him about dropping me down. I was in the very top English. I think they would call it AP English now. But I was in the very top level of English. And so and the teachers looked at my father and said, Brenda's struggling a bit, and perhaps it would be good to drop her down a level so that she didn't have to work as hard. Those were her words. I remember them crystal clear. And my dad looked at her and said, well, is she failing? And she said, no, she has a solid B, sometimes a B minus, but she usually brings it up to a solid B, but she has to work really hard to get that. And he looked at her and he said, what's the matter with a little hard work? I mean, if she was failing, I could understand this conversation, but she's getting a B and you're saying that's not good enough because she has to work too hard? No, life is hard. Learn how to work hard. We're not dropping her down a level. And I thought to myself, gee, thanks, Dad. That's what I thought at the age of 13. We walked out of the classroom and we were in the hallway a bit away from the classroom, so nobody could overhear our conversation. And my father looked at me and he said, what do you want to be when you grow up? What do you want to do? What is it that you're passionate about, Brenda? And I said, And I remember this so clearly, you guys. I looked at him at the age of 13 and I said, I want to be in the entertainment industry. I don't have to be in front on stage. I can be backstage. I don't have to be in front of the camera. I can be behind the camera. I can work in production, backstage. It doesn't matter. As long as I'm in the entertainment industry in some way, shape, or form, I'll be happy. And he said, well, then that's your goal. You need to do everything possible to make that happen. And that includes working really hard at your English class right now, and in your history classes right now, and in your art classes right now. All of that stuff will help you in your future. But Bren, it's going to be hard. No matter what you choose, life is hard. I'm so thankful I had that conversation. And I don't know how many kids, especially at that age, I don't know how many kids have those kind of conversations with their parents or guardians, um, or even with their friends anymore. Um, I think we've trained ourselves to think it shouldn't be hard. That once we are working in our passion or purpose, that life should get exponentially easier. It doesn't. Life is hard. It does get exponentially better because you're focused on what you love and what you're passionate about. You're getting to do those two things, but it doesn't make life easy. Life has its ups and downs, and it always will, no matter what. But I can tell you from a person and my perspective of someone who made that choice so long ago and said, this is what I'm good at. This is what I'm here for. I knew what I was here for. At the age of 13, it was crystal clear. Now, I've had off roads and I've had on ramps and I've gone down strange highways here and there, but I've always been drawn back. I've always found my way, my return, if you will. I've taken time off. I've gone back into my passion because honestly, I'm not fulfilled anywhere else. I don't experience joy when I'm not being creative. Okay. But I needed to stop thinking. And I'm so grateful my dad helped me with this, and my mom helped me with this, and my family helped me with this, that life was supposed to be easy. It's just not going to happen. Life is not easy. Now I've said it 15 times. Perhaps we'll understand and we can move on from this point. You will have days of rest and ease. Everyone does. But living a life filled with purpose will and should be a life filled with fire and passion and enthusiasm. Sometimes those things wax, sometimes those things wane under the strain of life, loss, and other things that try to knock us off of our center and off of our path. But if it is truly what you're created for, the passion and the fire and the enthusiasm always returns. That's important to know. When you're going through a hard struggle, and maybe some of you are struggling right now. I know I was right after my mom passed away, and then my dog passed away, and oh, I could go on. I won't. I had taken so many hits in the last few months that, like, I couldn't breathe. I couldn't feel anything. I was numb. I'm look, I have a knockout therapist, so I'm so thankful for that and for her. Um, and she told me I was normal. And I went, woohoo! This is the first time for everything. I've never been called normal a day in my life. But what I was experiencing in all of this loss that I was walking through was absolutely normal. To be numb was to be normal. And so I just said, I don't have a passion anymore. Like I think about going to rehearsal and I go, ugh. I think about painting and I think, oh man, it's such a drag to have to pull out all those paints. Like literally, it's two steps to the table. And I was making it such a big deal in my head. But it concerned me because I felt like devoid of me and what I was created for. And I thought, my goodness, if I'm not this anymore, who am I? And it's not that I'm my job, right? But because I'm not, I don't define myself by the work I do, but I am creative. I was created to be creative. And so I was thinking, what happens if I'm no longer creative? Like I couldn't come up with an inspired thought or scenario, and it was really getting me down. And so when she said, "You're normal, it will come back, Brenda," those were such encouraging words to me. It was exactly what my soul needed to hear. It was balm for a weary, wounded soul. And so if you're going through something like that, let me tell you and encourage you, it will come back. The fire, the passion, the enthusiasm, it may take time, but it will return. So there's a saying that if you work at something you love to do, then you won't work a day in your life. And I just it's not true. Work is work. We're all going to have good days, we're all going to have bad days. There are going to be some serious uphill climbs, some wonderful mountaintop experiences, some lovely valleys that you get to trip the light fandango through. That's life. But when you're living according to your life's purpose, you're secure in the knowledge that you are doing the right thing for you, for your family, for your friends, for the world around you. It may not bring you the financial security you desire. It may not be in the place you ever thought that you would live or work. It may not look anything like the dreams you had about it, but it will fulfill you. It will fill you up with joy, with wonder that you get to do this thing with your life. I can remember so clearly when I was production stage manager at Shakespeare and Company in the Berkshires. I remember waking up during the summer season when I would head out to rehearsal in the morning, to an early morning call, or to my evening show calls. And I just remember thinking, I can't believe I get to do this. How lucky am I? And I was working like a crazy person back then. And anyone who knows like summertime theater, summer stock, summer theater knows the schedule is unbelievable, but also the experience is, if it's what you're supposed to be doing, magnificent. So go forth. If you have not experienced that day two, if you don't know why you were born, what you're here for, if you're still searching and wondering what you were created for, spend some time thinking about it. What do you love to do? What are your innate gifts, talents, and abilities? And begin to imagine what you could be doing with all of that. Dream. Envision a life using those gifts, those talents, those abilities, and see where the road leads. Don't let fear cloud your mind or judgment. Don't imagine your dreams are impossible or unimportant. Dreams, they're not meant to be judged. They're meant to be followed. So that's what I wanted to talk to you about today. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you again next week. Bye. Hey, thank you so much for watching our video. I hope you liked it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, subscribe. What are you waiting for? All right. I hope you all have a wonderful week. Bye.